Every time I log on, I'm incredibly thankful I'm single.
That's it. That's my intro.
Hi, I'm Amanda. You're watching Swell Entertainment. I'm currently in New York City for SailGP. That video is probably already out. But I have been thinking a lot lately because I've talked about this a lot on other platforms like TikTok, okay, because that's my fun platform. But I decided to make a full video about this because there's a lot of content of this nature that I feel like is becoming more and more prevalent and being pushed out, okay? But it's interesting to see this type of content we're going to talk about in comparison to the discussions that we're having politically and socially, talking about things like the male loneliness epidemic and declining birth rate and things like that, okay? And so I really want to talk about awful relationship content. Really quick, let me first tell you about the sponsor for today's video, Squarespace. Do you want a place that's all your own where you can show off your work? Or maybe you want a spot where you can sell your handmade dog leg warmers? Squarespace is the all-in-one website design platform to help you stand out and succeed online. If you don't know where to start, Squarespace has a ton of incredible templates, and with cutting-edge design, you can customize any part to fit your needs. They make it super easy to set up or revamp your online store, and with their built-in analytics tool, they make it super easy to figure out where to focus engagement and track revenue. Go to squarespace.com to get started on a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/swellentertainment to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. And when I say awful relationship content, I don't mean like it's cringy, like happy relationship content. No, I'm talking about, oh my God, why are you together? Relationship content. Oh my God, girl, leave him. Why are you telling us this type of thing? Content. Now, I have previously talked about testing your relationship for views, to do this like type of test on your boyfriends and partners, specifically men, to see if they like truly cared about you and liked you and like could solve a problem for you and things like that. And I also thought that was insane, but that I almost prefer to what we are seeing now. I'm single. Hi, if that wasn't clear, okay? I'm not dating right now. I am bisexual. Happy Pride Month. Let's go. I'm not dating anyone right now. Not women, not men, not they, thems. I'm just not dating right now, okay? Mainly because I'm super busy. And two, I don't attract anyone I'm attracted to. But I'm very comfortable being single, okay? And what's interesting, especially as someone who talks about being single quite a bit, and as someone with a mixed audience who happens to be a woman on the internet, I get a very interesting window into the male mind, whether I'm at an event and it's in person or it's in my DMs or my Facebook messages or my emails. Okay, some of you write emails. It's crazy. And I understand that in me sharing this, I'm going to upset quite a few of you. It's because I'm alone, okay, single or at an event otherwise, especially someone who's very publicly travels alone, does not mean that I'm lonely. Whether in that explicit instance of being in alone at an event or traveling or anything like that, or alone in my apartment with my dog, okay, or romantically, etc. But for some reason, it feels like men assume I must be lonely because they are lonely, based off the messages that I am receiving. And it's a fascinating paradox because I'm like, I'm good. Because normally with events specifically, when I am recognized by someone, woman or man, okay, usually women, when they come up and they say hi, it's just because they want to talk about content. They want to say hi, nothing like anything else, honestly. If anything, if they ask to hang out with me for a second, it's usually because they are alone themselves and they are very anxious about being alone. It's not so much where they are like, we are going to be best friends, we are going to hang out all the time. It is very much a, hey, I just need a moment and you are someone that I know parasocially, can I be safe for 2 seconds? With men though, they assume that I must be lonely and therefore I must want to hang out with them, which I find fascinating, whether it's like romantic or otherwise. And sometimes it's a very alarming experience, like a note passing experience or like a following me around. It's like, oh, you're still alone. It's like, yeah, I'm alone. And it's like with men, they make it abundantly clear they know I'm there alone. Do you not realize how alarming it is? Like, obviously, I'm usually alone, okay? But when a man is like, you're here alone, right? Like, that's very... It's very jarring, okay? It makes me want to leave the space, frankly, because I have no way of knowing if you're crazy or not. You've already acknowledged that you watch me on the internet, thank you. But also, statistically, at least 10% of you are fucking nuts. I have a lot of good examples of relationships. A lot of my friends are married or engaged. A lot of my friends have found their person and really want me to find my person, okay? Or a person to have fun with. A lot of my friends would like me to date for fun right now. Specifically, they want me to date men for fun. Not that they don't want me to be with like hot women or anything like that. They're just like, we want you to just date anyone. And we know men are easy. The problem is a lot of men aren't fun. This is a very weird way of me explaining that I'm single and why I'm single and like my experience with like viewers and things like that. Because a lot of you were like, you're single, I'll date you right now. That's not what I want. Also, a lot of you are very awkward and meek when you try and hit on me. And that's not what I'm attracted to whatsoever. I understand that my demeanor may make you think that I want like a very like awkward, submissive partner. Not at all. Please don't. Stop. It's embarrassing. I am also not inclined to date at all because every time I log on, every single time, whether I'm on TikTok for 5 minutes or 5 hours, Twitter, anything like that, I am shown a relationship that is truly awful. True, like at the very least, most women seemingly are with men who can't fucking stand them. And it's wild. Okay, I talked about this on TikTok. This one is the one that got me recently because what typically happens, at least on TikTok, is a woman will share a video or a story of something that happened with their partner. Okay, typically a man, usually heteronormative presenting. It'll be something awful or something they think is funny. Sometimes they present it as, hey, isn't this awful? Sometimes they're crying when they share the story or they clearly look devastated in the video clip that they are sharing of this interaction. And so people will be like, girl, you deserve better. Leave him. That's awful. Then the follow-up day, the follow-up video will be like, you don't understand our relationship. You must not have partners. You must not have been in a relationship. Okay. Which, side note, why is being single worse than death? Like, why is that a concept for some people? Maybe I'm a child of divorce. Okay. And so I've seen like the worst of how relationships can go. Okay. I have seen people who have been charged with attempted murder for their spouses. Okay. And I have been involved myself in as the child in a very messy custody battle, including a parent that was abusive. Okay. I have seen the worst and I have seen the best. I have seen my friends, family members, people that would hang the moon and stars for each other. Okay. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm good right now. I'm chilling. But then I talk to women and then I see women online where it's like being single, not having male attention is like the worst thing in the world. And I'm like, why? This one video I saw, okay, was this woman, I believe it was her fiance, she said, surprised her by taking her to a movie. Okay. Based on context clues, it was Sinners. He brought her to see Sinners. Okay. Incredible movie. Okay. She had an incredible time at the movie. She was not expecting it to be so good. She hadn't seen any trailers. She had a average Sinners viewing experience and came out transformed and was very excited to talk about how amazing and beautiful that movie was. And so she was all excited talking about it and he was shutting her down. And so she explained how she was like, I wasn't expecting it and I was like really enjoying it. And like, now you're making me sad because you don't want me to talk about it. And he said to her, based off what she said to us, he said, I like when you get excited about things. It's just really annoying sometimes. So let me get this straight based off the clues of this woman, what this woman has told me. Now, again, this is all the information we have. I've never seen this man. Okay. Never seen them interact. I've never met these people. This is what she brought to the internet, and this is what we have to react to. He brought you to a movie and then was bothered you liked it. So based off that, it sounds like he wanted you to either be scared or upset or irritated by the movie that he brought you to. So already he didn't bring you to this movie to experience this movie together or like to have a nice night out together. He clearly brought you to this movie, not expecting you to enjoy it. Weird. Extremely weird. And then you did enjoy it. And seemingly, based off what you told us, he was annoyed that he was wrong about your experience with this movie. And even more annoyed by the fact that you actively liked it and you wanted to keep talking about a movie that you both just watched together. You being excited about things apparently annoys him sometimes. What? Crazy. And she finished out that video talking about how they are working through in like therapy, I believe, how he speaks to her. In a follow-up video, you guessed it, we are both working through things. You guys don't understand our relationship. I'm not going to leave him because of that. Okay, again, I'm team leave him. Maybe it's because I'm like really independent and self-sufficient, okay? I love my job. I love my apartment. I love my dog. I love my life, okay? So unless you are actively enjoyable to be around, and actively adding to my life as another human being. Why would I bring you in and upset my peace? She's crying in the video when she's talking about the movie thing. She is like wobbly, on the verge of tears, crying, talking about how he spoke to her. And I would never let someone make me feel that way. Like I would be like, bye. Another one, this was going around a lot. This is a clip. A lot of YouTubers talked about this clip because it's a diabolical instance. And this one, I wasn't originally going to include, but I do want to include it because I'm also not someone who's religious. I'm just like agnostic, former bad Catholic. Okay, that's kind of where I identify as. So I don't really follow I wouldn't be with this man if God didn't put him in front of me. Like that's just not for me. I understand people find comfort in religion. I understand why religion exists and the like. Okay, I do like learning about religions. I just don't personally follow any real religions personally at this time. It's very hard for me to understand this was God's path for me. This man is God's path for me. And so any awful things he does is God testing me to see how faithful I am with his love and this man. You know, because of all that, okay, I'm not really going to weigh in too much on this marriage, okay? But there's a couple other YouTubers that have talked about this. Kenny JD talked about this whole episode, okay, in a video. And so I will link Kenny's video down below because I feel like Kenny talks about it more in depth, okay? And it's just about this episode, okay? So I'm going to leave that to that. It's a video from this channel, Dear Future Wifey, and it is titled, You Won't Believe What Nearly Broke This Pastor's Marriage, Reggie and Kelly Steele. I watched this full episode. He cheats on her constantly. You won't believe what nearly broke this pastor's marriage. I think it should have, frankly. He seemingly cheats on her constantly, has cheated on them their entire relationship, from when they were teenagers to the time she got pregnant to when they were married. Like multiple instances of cheating and her taking care of him, paying for things and things like that when he was going through stuff. Again, I will link Kenny's video if you want to see a full deep dive on this episode, okay? Or go watch the episode yourself as well. And it ends with like, what thoughts do you have to women and people that watch this, you know, that don't want to go through what you go through? It's like, well, I'd probably say you're single. I don't know how you can look at this as anything other than him blatantly disrespecting you. The entire episode, they are publicly sharing this, and he's a pastor. You know, like it's... Okay, please go watch Kenny's video. She does a great breakdown on the whole episode. Oh, there is a content creator, which I had never seen their couples content, this creator. Okay, the account is called Just Alex Bennett. I don't follow her, but her content gets shown to me a lot. I've been getting a lot of baby content. A lot. I don't know if it's because one of my family members went to my phone during Easter and started showing baby content, baby content, baby content. I don't know. Or if it's just the political climate of trying to get women to, again, procreate, and I am of childbearing years. Okay, so I get why it's being shown to me. Okay, I also have multiple friends that are actively trying to get pregnant or planning to have kids soon. So it could just be like things sinking. Okay, could not be anything nefarious. So I started getting Alex's content and also the bed bug trend where it's like, hey guys, what kind of bed bug is this? And it pans over to like this just like adorable baby that's like chilling with them in bed. And it's like, that's a weird bed bug. It's really cute. It's not happening. I'm doing so good right now. I don't need a kid. But the page is called Just Alex Bennett, and I've been getting a lot of her content because she talks to her baby a lot, okay? She like fully does like almost like how you would narrate a vlog, but as she's talking to her baby and films herself doing that, like talking about here's how your day's gonna go, here's like fully just talking, not like baby talk, just talking normally how you would talk to anyone but to her baby. And I liked this as someone who, you know, my parents talked to me like crazy, and then now I'm a professional yapper, you know. But there's a lot of talks of, you know, the more you talk to babies and things like that, the better it is for their speech development and brain development, things like that. And I'm assuming that's why her content started doing really, really well. Now, recently, I started getting videos from other creators talking about Alex and her boyfriend, the baby's father, and their podcasts that they do, okay? Where she's apparently a different person on the podcast because despite how much she talks in her videos, she shuts down a lot in this podcast.
Alex Bennett is a content creator that used to work for Barstool. Then she was fired, worked on the Mean Girls podcast with Jordan. Around the same time, she ended up getting divorced from Graham, who was her husband. Something a lot of people are bringing up is the fact that Graham is apparently a billionaire. And a lot of people think she fumbled the bag on that one. But what I will say, in her defense, it really shows that she loved Graham for Graham and not for his money. After 4 months of dating, her and her new boyfriend, Harrison, decided that they were going to have a baby. Which originally people thought, oh, whirlwind romance. We're so happy for her. She got out of that relationship. And look at this beautiful relationship that she has now. On their shared podcast, Alex was answering a question saying, are we getting married? She's like, yes. As she's saying yes, he interrupts her and he goes, well, we can't say for sure if we're going to get married. That's not like a definite. Mind you, they live together, have a business together, and have a baby. Marriage is just one step too far. There's another incident that they posted. He was like, do you expect a 1-year anniversary post? They like paused and she goes, well, I don't expect a post, but like a story. Another incident where she posted photos of them and their child on his Instagram and he was upset about it. Since made a follow-up video saying that she loves her marriage. And you know what? I do not marriage. She loves her relationship. And I don't doubt that she loves her relationship. I think we're doubting that he does.
Apparently, Alex and her boyfriend, I think Harrison, were together for only a couple of months when they got pregnant. But there's this one clip that I've seen quite a few times for them where it's like, are we going to get married? Yes, she is saying that. And he's like, well, no. And she kind of like backtracks. He's like, I don't think that's an automatic yes or anything like that. And he basically is just saying like, I don't think we can rush into marriage and things like that. But that's clearly what she wants, which... There's also the whole discussion of like a shut up ring. There's a lot of that. Which a shut up ring is when, I think if you have to beg someone to marry you, I think that's a sign to get out. Like, that's just my personal opinion. Not to say that she's begging, but she clearly wants that. And he clearly is like not down for that. And she made this video talking about that, being like, she thinks this is the best chapter of her life. She loves her relationship. And she could very well love her relationship and love her boyfriend and, love her kid and everything like that. That's not up for debate. It's a matter of, does he feel the same way about you? Is this the best chapter of his life from his side of things? And if it's not, like, because everyone, again, has different views and what they want from a relationship and things like that. Maybe you don't want to be the center of his world. Maybe you don't want that. But at the very least, I think that, especially if you're going to have a public podcast, I think you should be on the same page as things. And it seems like there's multiple times where it's like he's talking down to you, dismissing things that you want. And again, you put it on the internet. So again, people are going to talk about it. So people are naturally being like, girl, stand up, leave him, take your kid, go. When it comes to, because I'm sure some people will be like, well, she just had a baby, they should stay together for the sake of the baby and things like that. Which again, I'm not criticizing his ability to be a father in any capacity because I have no idea. Frankly. I am talking about how he speaks to the mother of his child and his girlfriend. But I also come from the perspective of a child divorce whose parents did try to stay together for the kids. Side note, people don't think their kids hear or see how unhappy they are. They totally do. Even my friends whose parents separated when they were younger, they were like, yeah, they didn't. I was 4 and I knew they needed to separate. I was 11 when my parents separated. It was right before I started 6th grade. And it was a long drawn out period prior to that where I was like, any day now. This needs to happen. This is bad. This is rough. This is miserable for me and my little brother, who was even younger than I was. He was 3 years younger. I'm always going to operate from the perspective of, we'd rather separate before the animosity gets worse. We'd rather separate when I know we no longer like each other. Whether it's infidelity, financial infidelity, because there's also that. We're going to talk about a few things. Like there's that. There's just no longer, I can tell you don't want to be with me anymore type of thing. And be able to get to a spot where we can, healthily co-parent. Then get to a spot where we are truly hating each other and we are battling using our kids, because that's what happened with my parents. Isn't that fun and exciting? And so that's the perspective I come from, which a lot of you are probably going to disagree with, and that's fine. We're allowed to have differing views. I'm just talking about the content. A side note, like, just having a relationship account is always like, so like, it's either very performative or it's very much like, aren't you guys know this can stay offline, right? But speaking of leaving when you're pregnant, let's talk about the Wizard Liz situation, because this horrifying, to the point that I explained the situation to my dad, and he said, if this happened to you, it wouldn't just be words being had. Things would be done. You wouldn't have to worry about this going forward, because my dad loves me. Isn't that cool? So Wizard Liz is another YouTuber. I have seen her content. I've watched a few of her videos, and for the most part, I do like her content. It's just not always my cup of tea. I like the overall vibe of like, be confident in yourself, do not tolerate disrespect, things like that. Okay, that's what I mostly liked. But her delivery is not always for me. It's a little more aggressive at times than I personally like for myself, for like the content that I like to consume. But I did follow her on Instagram, okay, during all of this. And so I had seen that she had gotten married and was with someone. And I was like, okay, cool, like good for her, whatever, you know, no big deal. Didn't really have two thoughts about it. And then she made an Instagram post on her story that popped up. And it was saying that she had been sent DMs from someone of her husband, Landon, trying to cheat on her. And she revealed she is 4 months pregnant and that she is leaving him. She is done. She's going to stand by what she preaches, and she is leaving him. She will not tolerate this, which I was like, holy fuck yeah, let's go. Awful, tragic, okay. And the more information came out about it, because what it looks like, and again, this is me speculating based off what I've seen and what has been shared and what I've seen of their relationship and things of that nature, because that's all we have to go off of is what's online. They had met through a friend, is what it seems like, okay? And then they bumped into each other again at the airport. And he shares that it was like a fog lifted. It sounds like he may have targeted her for a relationship, because this is something else that this whole situation that I've really come to terms with this thing with women, okay, with other women, where a lot of young women don't realize that they are not in competition with other women just simply because they're another woman, you know, like there is room for all of us. We can, you know, someone being beautiful does not take away from how I look or anything like that, you know, that type of thing. I've known that for a while. Some people are still learning that. It comes and goes for different people. But at a certain point, you realize like, oh, I don't have to be in competition with women all the time. Not necessarily like male-centered women, because I do think that's a separate thing. But just in general, this can happen in the office. This can happen with older women and younger women, you know, like the, you know, I need to be the one type of thing. Okay. But I think a lot of women, especially successful women, don't always realize how men also compete with women, not just in a position of, I want to fuck her type of thing, okay? But from a position of, why does she have that? Why is she so successful? I should be that successful. We see this a lot, I think, with OnlyFans creators, okay? Where a lot of men are like, how dare you make money this way? But then they don't have the same issue with like men that make money that way and things like that. Based off of everything, to me, this looks like an instance of this guy wanting to take Liz down a peg in a very extreme way. And so it looks like he followed her content, found out where she would be, kind of set it up so that it would be serendipity type of thing, okay? And then really love bombed her over the course of like their 10-month relationship, it seems, and proposed very quickly, okay? Which when I heard she got engaged after only being together with someone for so long and then got married fairly quickly based off what we had been shown, I was like, okay, like, because for sometimes I'm one of those people where it's like, if you know, you know, but also if someone proposed to me tomorrow, if I was not comfortable getting married the following day, I would not say yes to that proposal. And I just kind of figured based on how Liz was that she was the same way. Okay, so it's like, yeah, if you know, you know. Get married very quickly and then get pregnant very quickly as well. And then now obviously she is now 4 months pregnant. And so it looks like, based off everything and based off the messages, because the girl that he was messaging was actually a fan of Liz's. He is very much trying to meet up with her, trying to see her in these messages, okay? Landon even posted these messages. It looks like what he posted is what was sent to Liz, okay? Because it's from the perspective of the girl. Like, I'm gonna come see you. He talks not just about wanting to see this girl, okay? This girl brings up Liz and is like, aren't you married? He's like, no, I'm not married. We're like engaged or something, okay? And so she posts a photo. She sends him a photo of him with a wedding ring on. That's just for the cameras. He basically goes on to tell this girl he is trying to hook up with. It's very embarrassing, frankly. Tells her, basically, that the relationship is fake. His relationship with Liz is fake, essentially. The woman who is carrying his child, that it's a fake relationship. I don't think it matters that he didn't put his dick in someone else or go on a date with someone else or even get into an emotional affair with someone else. If I am carrying your child and you have the audacity to try and cheat on me while also saying our relationship is fake with one of my fans, fuck you. The level of disrespect on top of that, crazy. But I think he did that and purposely went after one of her fans, intentionally hoping it would go public and hoping that it would force Liz to stay with him, that he thought he had successfully trapped her and therefore would make her career and everything that she stood for crumble. Diabolical plan if that's the case. Awful, tragic, insane. Told my dad the story and he's like, you need to be careful. You can't just let anyone into your life. Okay. My dad, who would love grandchildren, okay, told me to stay away from y'all. Now, this situation has gotten worse, frankly, okay, because she left him and posted, updates of her, going to an ultrasound and things like that, okay? And again, I'm team leave him. So I was like, I hope she has a good support system around her. Good on her for standing her ground and not tolerating disrespect, because I don't think I could stay with someone who did that to me. But then Landon's ex-girlfriend came forward. Now, I'm of the opinion that this girl had every right to come forward because she is clearly upset in the video. She's shaking in the video. She is sharing evidence and screenshots and receipts, okay, of her relationship with Landon, including how he got her pregnant as well. She ended up having a miscarriage, but also the love bombing and the cheating and things like that. To show to Liz, don't worry, this isn't just you. This is how he is, okay? Like, you're not going crazy type of thing, okay? Liz did not handle this well. And so this is now leading to potentially the downfall of her business, okay, and her content and her audience, because how she has responded to this ex-girlfriend. People are now determining that all of Liz's content was also setting herself above other women, like I said, being in competition with other women, male-centered, etc. Now it's not like this is something horrible that's happened to her. It's that she's part of a pattern and she just thought that she found the right one, okay? Which is tragic. This is all tragic. None of this should have happened. Liz made posts, which she has since deleted, okay, about, I don't know who this girl is, and she had a sugar daddy. She leaked Landon's email and now people are sending him death threats. I don't want the father of my child to hurt himself and things like that. Which I do think is more evidence of narcissism on his part and manipulating Liz. But again, I feel like Liz thinks that she can't be further manipulated at this point. So this whole situation is awful. And again, I hope she stops going after this girlfriend. It seems like she has at this point, but it's just like, the wrong man will ruin your life, frankly, whether they intend to or not, okay? What's the line? You have an unnatural allegiance to losers. I think that's a tweet from a friend perspective, from just a male-centered perspective, from a relationship perspective. Someone's going to be like, women just need to pick better, okay? Why should I suffer because you've had bad experiences with other men? Don't you care about my mental health? Not today, I don't. Your mental health has nothing to do with my ability to fuck you. Like, it just doesn't. It's not my problem. It is not. When we can talk about like relationship content, we can also talk about like the third person content in relation to a relationship, like a third wheel in a sense. Okay, I'm a very proud third wheel. I love my friends. Okay, I have a lot of couple friends. It is what it is. But the content that I've been seeing as well is also from the same perspective of like, don't you want your partners to like you, but not even that? Don't you want friends that like you? You know what I'm saying? There's a video, okay, going around right now, which we've seen this crash out before, okay, but this crash out is recent. It's of two girls in a car, and the girl driving is the birthday girl, and she is yelling at her friend for dressing better than her on her birthday.
On my fucking birthday, bitch. Like, how the fuck is you doing all of that extra makeup, all that extra jewelry and shit, bitch? And then you go on the fucking hoochie cut shorts knowing my nigga coming with us out. That's weird, bitch. You not my fucking friend for real, bitch. You not real.
Okay,
because
but
it's my birthday.
First off, if that's
it's about me.
If that's your nigga, he shouldn't even be looking at me.
Okay, bitch, you don't even need to be giving him a reason to look at you, bitch.
Bitch, I'm just being.
Bitch, next
Bitch,
time,
I'm just
bitch,
being
you need to wear a
me.
jean skirt, bitch.
Bitch,
wear
I'm
a
just
jean
being me.
skirt.
Why are you yelling? Like, it's
fuck,
not even
because
that
my
deep.
feelings hurt, bitch. You supposed to be a real bitch, and you trying to look better than me.
Okay, the
on my day.
Bitch, what you wanted me to wear? Some fucking hand-me-downs and some corduroys,
No,
bitch?
bitch,
The
you
fuck?
should have put on a jean skirt or some fucking leggings or something, or some baggy jeans, bitch. You know you got more body than me.
You do this all the time. Every time we go out, guys are always looking at you and not at me, while she was talking about having a boyfriend and basically saying, you know, you have more body than me and you should have worn baggy jeans or something. Okay, which, side note, I talked about this as well. I have hot friends. Baddie's gonna baddie. I'm gonna look nice on my birthday, but if one of my friends shows up in a hot ball gown, I'm gonna be like, God damn, you look great. Let's go get some French onion soup or something. You know, whatever. Okay, I'm not gonna have a crash out because that would be crazy. My friends are hot. Wow. Amazing. The expectation that your friend dressing nice for your birthday is because your boyfriend is going to be a problem. And then again, talking about going out and other men when you already have a boyfriend, like it's like that's the male-centered element as well, but also just a sign that your friends might fucking hate you. If someone did that to me, you know, unless they were like, oh, hey, like we're going out to dinner, like let's just do jeans and a t-shirt, we're going to go bowling afterwards or something like that, I'd be like, okay, but like if I'm going to go to my friend's birthday, like I'm going to wear a nice top, we're going out to dinner, I want to look nice for your birthday. And the thought of one of my friends like having a crash out like this, one, inconceivable, okay, but also just like over a dude. Overall, I know I've barely touched on the we need more babies to be born. That's not, again, I'm good right now. You know, one day, maybe, who knows, you know, but right now I'm good. Okay. I'm not going to rush into anything. Okay. And again, I refuse to have a baby with a fucking loser. Okay. Sometimes you can't tell, you know, until it's too late. But then, you know, I will make sure my kid is not a loser. The end. I don't know if it's the nature of social media where like the negative content is what's being promoted the most, because that's what's the most entertaining as far as like an algorithmic perspective looks like. And so that's why people are just being shown this awful relationship content and the like. But like relationship content is not filling me with confidence. It's not making me think that there is like a happy relationship in my future, truly. And that's awful. I would like to think that there is, but again, it's not like the relationship content that I'm seeing does not encourage me to be like, I really want to date. That looks like a good time. That looks fun. You know, it just doesn't. It's really going to be it. This is just kind of like a miscellaneous ranting video of various videos that I've seen online so far. Have you seen good relationship content lately? What's a video you saw online that made you think, leave him? Let me know. Comment down below. Reminder, I stream on Twitch. Reminder that Swell Entertainment is now available on Spotify. Reminder, check out Curly Pop Go for more car and motorsports content. Shout out to my channel members. If you'd also join channel membership, you can go ahead and click join down below. If you'd like to follow me on all social media, that'll be all up here. And that's me. Have a lovely day. Goodbye. Hi, I wanted to explain shut up rings a little bit more because I didn't in the video. Also, hi, I'm in France. The concept of a shut up ring is basically when usually the woman in the dynamic is asking, when are we going to get married? When we get married, why haven't you proposed? That type of thing. And so the man proposes, but only with the purpose of getting you to stop talking about proposing and getting married and things like that. Because, okay, I gave you the ring. That buys me a bit of time. We don't actually have to get married right now. Some people just have long engagements, but then this is the concept of further pushing off the marriage and using it as we got engaged. What else do you want? You know, type of thing. That's the shut up ring. Okay, bye.